What's the word, chat? What's the word? 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 Yeah, we here. We live. We here. We're live. I feel happy to be here. You know, I ain't clock in yesterday. But I'm not gonna let that get me down. This shit keeps on moving. You know what I'm saying? This shit keeps on moving. Let this shit get to running a little bit, man. What y'all feel like tapping in with today, man? I got something lined up for us, actually. I got something lined up for us. I can't lie. But let me take my little homie to go pee real quick. I'll be right back. Back in here, man. I'm just letting my dog eat right now. I had to go take care of dad duties. You know how it be, man. Dog dads out here for the W. Oh shit! And I got the stream on in my pocket. That's why you hear the the double voice and shit. My bad. My bad. Over here ad libbing in my pocket. That's crazy. But yeah, man. Shit is cool. Shit is real cool, dude. Shit is real cool. Shit is real cool, bro. Today is gonna be a cool day. Gonna take this shit steady. Ain't got shit to worry about. Just about to be streaming, about to be grinding. Yeah. I hope everyone's having a phenomenal day. I could just hear my nigga back there going to town on his water. That's crazy. My nigga waited for the stream to kick off for him to be like, yo, dad, take me out. Take me out. He started whining and shit. I'm like, all right, bro, I got you, man. I love my dude, bro. Bro is cool. Coolest dog, man. Coolest dog in the world. He got so much personality. I don't know if it's just like a corgi thing, but like, yo, if you somebody who's interested in getting a dog and you like happy, playful, adorable type animals, a corgi, I would say, is the way to go. So much personality, so much energy to play, always playful and loving. You know what I'm saying? They love to be held, and we've just had like a great experience with our dog, so I can't complain. I give the next person, you know what I mean, the vouch to go make that decision. I know everybody be wanting pit bulls and shit. Everybody be wanting these bullies and all that other shit. But corgis, bro, they cool. They cool. My little guy get rowdy too. He's just so funny, man. I love dude. I love my little dude, bro. I'll be right back though.
Will Kamar's girlfriend cheat on him with his twin? We'll just call her.
I'm over here, bro. Motherfuckers want to talk about struggles when streaming. What about when you forget to unmute your fucking mic? I be going on some of my best rants. I look down at my mic, my nigga. That shit be blinking. When it's blinking, it's muted. My fucking heart drops every time, bro. Every time. I'm like, why? I'm over here giving Malcolm X level speeches, and my shit is on mute. I'm feeding generations, and my shit is on mute. I couldn't imagine. They'd be like, yo, Marquise, and we need you to come on national television to speak to the people, man. We heard that you really be reaching them. You really be touching their hearts. And I get in front of that mic, and the shit is muted. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no way. I'm gonna need some food in me soon, too. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm gonna need that food ASAP, baby. ASAP. But, bro, look, all I was saying is, it's this video titled, Will His Girlfriend Cheat with His Twin Brother Loyalty Test by Jack TV. Shout out to Jack TV, bro. They always putting out bangers and shit like that. I've never been disappointed with a video. And with that being said, we just about to go ahead and get straight to the content because it ain't really much to talk about.
RKP.
Twin brother, I feel like that's like pushing.
Oh yeah, that's
like,
facts.
You feel me? 'Cause that's my twin brother, like my best friend.
You know what I'm saying? That's insane.
That's like crazy.
Okay, I ain't know why you really wanted me to.
We set up an elaborate plan to see if she'd take the bait, and it all goes down on this Airbnb that we bugged with mics and cameras.
Do you believe that she's gonna cheat?
Yeah.
You agree with what, that I should cheat back?
I agree.
The worst shit about this is that this is really real. Bro, I seen niggas squabbling on here. Bro walked off bloody. And he was really trying to mac on his homie's girl while he was gone. Like, he waited for his homie every day to go on shift to try to fuck with this nigga's girl. Whole time her ass is oblivious. She like, I just always thought that was my homeboy. You ain't never seen him staring at your ass too long? Just looking weird. This nigga had like gremlin energy. I don't understand. I don't think he was human. That nigga's whole demeanor, posture, and I'm sure his smell was just off. That nigga, you know what I'm saying? He just looked like he wanted to pounce on her. Like, bro, chill. These niggas be scaring the women away. Like, you already a disloyal nigga, but then you don't know how to interact with women? You just looking like the creeper? Come on, fam. You can't be looking like a creeper, my nigga. And I just couldn't understand. It was like real secondhand embarrassment. Especially to see a black man act like that. Come on, dude. Have some respect for yourself, your friend, and that lady.
You agree that I should cheat back?
All I know is that he cheated, and after doing something like that to a girl, you never know what to expect from him.
But before you find out what
That was crazy. I know it's just a setup, but niggas really be on YouTube dirty macking like that, bro. Dirty macking might be the worst epidemic to hit YouTube since OnlyFans. I ain't gonna lie. A dirty macking might be the worst shit to hit mainstream social media since, like, I don't fucking know, bro. Like, this is insane. Yeah, dirty macking is wild. Dirty macking gonna get a lot of niggas in trouble. Dirty macking really might be the worst thing since crack for like the black community right now. All you see is niggas dirty macking saying the craziest shit. Some niggas be funny with it though. DDG is hilarious, bro. I saw Jay Cinco ask that nigga at the party they was at. He was like, bro, you still burning? Somehow DDG, this nigga flipped it back on Jay Cinco like, oh no, Jay Cinco's burning. Everyone was like, oh no. I'm like, yo, this nigga got Hall of Fame defensive badges. How did he do this? This nigga can't be broke. They gotta stop playing with him, bro. Then he walked up to Ben the Don. He said, he said, you still burning? Or you took your he said, you still burning? Or you taking your antibiotics? I'm like, nigga, this dude is crazy. That nigga's insane, bro. Cause it's like, how do you start the conversation back up after that, DDG? That's horrible, bro.
What KP does, here's how we pulled it off.
I don't really give a if she wants to come up here, bro. Test already over, bro.
Is this video
2
real?
days ago, we
Yes.
set up a
Yes,
plan in motion
Coconut.
to get KP alone with her boyfriend's twin. It all started
This is a real video, fam. You see how it's paused? You see how this guy right here is presenting what's about to happen? This is a real video. Will his girlfriend cheat with his twin brother? Loyalty test by Jack. No, this is Soulless J. Okay, this is Soulless J. My fault. At the beginning of the TV, I gave credit to my nigga Jack TV, but they make the same exact shit. Fuck, the logo even almost seem the same, but no disrespect, Soulless J. Shout out to Soulless J, man. I'm sure this is about to be a dope video. Last video I seen like this though, it was grimy. It was some grimy shit. But yeah, with that being said, let's get to this.
with a fake argument between the brothers. Loud enough for KP to overhear, but vague enough to leave her wondering.
I'm live on Twitch right now and YouTube.
Yo, bro, I have your laptop. I've been waiting for 30 minutes. Where you at?
Don't rush me. I only gotta go down there because of what you did. I'm gonna get your
Number,
phone.
hold on. Number one, I don't have to bring your laptop, period. So I don't.
First off, I'm only going down there because of what you did. If you didn't do what you did, dude, I wouldn't even have to go down there. It's your fault. Don't try to blame
All right,
me.
bro. All right, bro. All right.
What?
All right.
You wanna
All right.
tell me
All right.
what you did?
All right, let me know when you get here.
Where I'm at? Come on, bro.
What?
It's your fault.
Check his location. Make sure he's on the way.
Yeah, bro.
We then mic'd up our decoy and directed him to park across the street as me and my crew recorded from a distance.
Yo,
Where you at?
I'm in the parking lot.
Yeah, I'm looking all over the parking lot. You know where to be? Oh, I see you. Never mind.
All right, Goofy.
This argument gave Kumar a reason to meet up with his twin and grab his computer, and it left KP curious to figure out what really was going on, which caused them to argue.
I think that's them right there. Where? Is that their car?
These niggas got a Hall of Fame setup. That's insane. It's a nice camera.
So we had Kumar ride with KP to a
It's a
parking
nice
lot
ass
to meet his
camera.
brother. Before getting out, we instructed him to have his girlfriend's headphones on. We did this so when he walks over to the other car, he could accidentally leave them behind.
But why you banging on the car window, bro?
You said you're gonna back. What'd you say, Coco? I mean, it called you Coco. My fault, bro. What'd you say, Coconut? You about to do what, bro?
I'm banging on the car window. Connect my laptop, nigga. They do it. We Gucci. Y'all think
Yeah,
she fell for
everything's
it?
going as planned.
Y'all think she fell for it?
Bro, I think she fell for it. I think she gonna fall for it.
You ready? You ready? I ain't gonna lie, you played that perfectly.
I ain't gonna lie.
You played that perfectly, bro. I did thought you was mad for it.
We wanted to make sure that she takes the bait, so we mic'd him up in order to see exactly what she says when he comes back to the car.
Here, put that on. One mic you no clip that to Yeah, I got you.
I don't know, bro. I hope she don't.
If she do, bro, you gotta cut that off.
Bro, but I cheated on her first, though.
What?
What that mean?
But I don't think she would cheat on
So
me.
like,
That-
she the type.
Nigga, what? I'm cool. What the fuck? Nigga, loyalty test and you failed already? This nigga failed the mission before he pushed start. This nigga tried to resume he tried to resume the campaign like he didn't fail. Like this nigga deleted his past save slots and act like he didn't do the same shit Shorty done did already. It's fucked up if she was like, oh yeah, I'm over it, and she's really not over it. But bro, you opened the door, my nigga. You opened the fucking door for the demons to come through. Shit, crazy, bro. You need a soul reaper right now, nigga. You need somebody to help you to slay them demons. I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah, nah, bro. This is crazy. I'm cool. That nigga said I cheated first. What? That's not what I thought he was gonna say at all. Nigga, why? Why'd you cheat? What'd you cheat for? You know what I'm saying? About to go to my dog Comics Explain. Comics Explain, they never let me down like that. I appreciate that, Coconut. Appreciate you stopping through, bro. Yeah, I'm always live on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. So if you ever want to kick it with me, bro, I'm on those platforms, and I'm live almost every day. I'm going to go ahead and put together a schedule soon, but right now I'm just trying to go live every day whenever I can, typically around this time in the morning. All right. Anyway, let's check out this Marvel's Ultimate. You know which one, man? I don't know. Radiant Black sound fire. I ain't never heard of this.
And this poor guy, man, he can't win for losing. So this guy is basically a Uber driver by all standards of measurement. And what this does is it initially picks up with the fact that he's got $38,000
God damn.
in
God damn. Nigga, I thought we read comic books to escape this rat race. This nigga done brought the depression to us. In the comics, y'all niggas gonna show us a negative credit card balance? Fuck. $46.98 to his name. I'm hurting for bro. He on the road trying to grind. He doing DoorDash orders, niggas. Niggas don't know he going through this though. Getting $2 every hour on for a tip. You know what I'm saying? Depending on where bro live at. That's
credit card debt. And I don't even know how somebody does that. He's got $47 roughly in his bank account, and he's trying to take out a loan. Now, it doesn't take a genius to figure out the fact that this guy's not getting any money from anybody, but he's stuck on pretty hard times because as a writer, he doesn't really have any money coming in. And so this ultimately leads to him having to move back in with his parents at Lockport, Illinois. Now, of course, his mom is how almost every mom is. She's just excited to see baby bird back home. His dad is a little more hard and a little more difficult about this. And in fact, the relationship I wouldn't really say is strained, but I would say,
bro, I know that's hard for anybody. Nigga, bro moved. He actually moved out. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to find his way. Nigga stumbled on hard times. Then he has to go back to mom's. She loves that he's back, but dad looking at this nigga like, I told your ass you wasn't gonna be shit. I told you wasn't gonna be shit. This got, I told you wasn't gonna be shit written all over his face. This nigga's a true villain. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the haircut. It's slicked back. You can tell this nigga be in the man cave with the fucking fireplace and cigar just cooling like this though. You could tell. That nigga son called. The fuck you want? You need money? Don't tell me you need money again. The fuck out of here, Johnny. I told you. You go out there, you're on your fucking own.
that it's
His name's not even Johnny. I'm sorry. I don't know this nigga's name. But, bro, his dad is definitely giving, like, asshole vibes.
Rough around the edges. And so at that point, he's met by a buddy of his, Marshall, who's actually his best friend. And so, of course, seeing Nathan back home, he's happy to see him and ends up, taking him out to a bar to find out that he's $38,000 in debt. And he's like, dude, like, that is an insane amount of credit card debt. Like, how does that happen? Did you just, like, buy a car and forget about it? Right? It's just one of these things where his friend's kind of busting his balls. The other part of this is that Nathan's parents don't know about his financial situation. The first reason he hasn't told them is because they don't really have that kind of money. And so to tell them that he's in that level of debt and for them to be unable to help him in that way is going to make them feel some kind of way, probably a little bit guilty, at least his mom. His dad, being somewhat of a dick and kind of a tightwad when it comes to cash, is probably going to give him a hard time about it. So for him, it's easier to just kind of let it all go. But suddenly, as the two of them are basically leaving this bar, Nathan ends up seeing out in maybe a few feet away a black hole just sitting in the air. Now, how it is that this singularity...
This the type shit we be seeing in the skies now. Ever since, it's just crazy because I feel like occurrences like this been happening. But ever since the CIA confirmed that aliens exist, motherfucking shits like this been appearing. Shits like this been appearing, and then they confusing niggas like, no, that's Project Bluebeam. Oh no, that's just a reflection from the lights they had up yesterday. And like, no, nigga, what? I'm gonna call a spade. That's a motherfucking spaceship, nigga. And I'm gonna document it. And in 20 years, and they ask me, have you ever seen UFO? Oh yeah, y'all putting together a documentary? I know them niggas. I know ET and them. I know ET. I know the Guardians of the Galaxy. Them my niggas too. Check my gallery out. I'm telling you, bro. Check my gallery out. Only thing I don't fuck with is Thanos. All my niggas hate Thanos. Fuck Thanos.
He hasn't just sucked in everything around it and brought it
Fuck Thanos.
into creation as you and I know it. I have no clue. But the fact is, it's there. And so he does what any logical human being would do in that kind of situation. He reaches out and touches it.
What? Nah. See, I said I was taking pictures. I'm not reaching out and touching nothing. You know what I'm saying? You know how E.T. like was reaching and touching. I'm not touching you. You're not going to my room. You're not touching my bed. Get the fuck out. Oh, we could probably go on like some adventures and shit in the spaceship, but you're definitely not coming in my room. My nigga, I don't know what you got on you or nothing. But this is obviously like some kind of like power source or some shit. This nigga's about to turn into something else. Let's see.
And he is immediately met with powers. And this is when the story gets amazing. Because I gotta tell you guys,
This looks amazing. This looks amazing. This looks amazing. I feel sorry for people. They be like, hey, y'all still reading comic books? I read manga. Motherfucker, you've read 2 manga? And it was probably volume 1 of Demon Slayer and like some obscure ass, I don't know, Jujutsu Kaisen volume? Y'all don't really be tapped in for real. As someone who collects both, you're not getting this level of detail, this level of like color theory, these hues, like the highlights, all this shit. It's fire. We gotta really appreciate our artists in America too, bro. Like, for one, this art style is clean, the details are clean, the facial expressions are very expressive. I just love the slick detail here, and the colors just make everything pop. If you are somebody who loves good stories, you love artwork, don't sleep on comics. Don't sleep on American comics. Don't sleep on Canadian comics. Nigga, don't sleep on French comics. Like, European comics be fire too. They be having some of the craziest color palettes in the game. Like, Europe might have the best like coloring techniques I've seen outside of the US. This shit, it can't go unnoticed. I gotta give props where props is due. All y'all niggas trying to act like y'all fake elitists for not reading comics anymore are stupid. Cause shit like this exists with great storylines.
Radiant Black, it kind of feels like the new Invincible, if I'm being honest with you guys. Because once this happens, he
Ooh, that motherfucker clean. Niggas saying they ain't reading comics no more. Y'all not reading comics no more? I couldn't say I'm not reading comics no more to only read manga. I love manga. But do y'all see this though? Y'all see the colors in this motherfucker? Clean. Clean. Yeah, bro, I gotta pick this up. Radiant Black, I gotta pick this shit up.
immediately dons this amazing looking costume. And I gotta say, man, it's one of the best looking costumes in all of comic books. And because of this incredible...
I'm saying...
quick metamorphosis, he doesn't quite know how to handle it and starts puking his guts up. Now, Kyle Higgins, when he writes this story, it's done incredibly well because in reality, that's kind of how most people would react. I mean, we like to believe that if we were suddenly met by superpowers, that we would just be like, yeah, I'm gonna be a villain and just like go start doing villainous stuff. I know I would, but in reality here, we wouldn't really know how to process the situation. We wouldn't necessarily know how to handle it. And so what happens is a couple of cops, right, Officer Mills and Officer Peters, show up here just because of the fact that it seems like they're trespassing. And you have Marshall who kind of runs his mouth a little bit, but then a train comes out of nowhere, right? Because there's kind of a little bit of a joke there where it's like, look, you know, like, you guys need to get off the tracks. There's a train coming. And literally Marshall, just being this guy who wants to stand up to the cops, is like, well, get out of our way and we'll get off the tracks, right? He's just kind of defiant to the cops. But then, like, a train is actually coming.
You're like, they even make white people bold to cops in comic books. This motherfucker's talking crazy. Can you imagine being with your homie? Y'all standing in the middle of a train track and this nigga's arguing with a cop talking about, no, we'll leave when you go to your car. I'd be like, No, nigga, we gonna leave right now. We can continue the conversation off the tracks. I don't give a fuck what kind of ego boosting you trying to prove. You can talk. You can do this shit away from the danger. You already bringing danger, arguing back and forth with this crash out right here. This nigga looks crazy. You know his wife ain't giving him none. You know what I'm saying? Them cops be on pension, bro. They be on pensions or working to get their pensions, not getting nothing. I'm telling you. That's why some of them niggas be hostile. That's why some of them niggas be hostile, man. Shout out to the good public servants, though. You know what I'm saying?
And in that moment, Nathan's powers activate. He levitates everybody, including the train, into the air, which of course saves pretty much everyone's life. The funny thing about this is that the cops don't initially know how to handle this. They're just kind of like, okay, so how do we report this? A glowing blue man in a crazy black suit levitated a train and us and our vehicles and saved our lives. To a degree, it's kind of easier to just sweep it under the rug. So this leads to Nathan basically grabbing Marshall and the two of them flying off.
Do y'all see this? You get this, and you get this level of detail and energy in a lot of manga, but not all of them. Nigga, not all of them at all. Excuse me. Shit. I ain't cutting this. I'm not editing it because y'all need to know. This right here, though, in any manga would be the best panel. The motherfuckers would just drool. They would damn near have an orgasm just by seeing something like this in the average manga. This is like the only shit that kind of looks like this that I like is probably My Hero Academia. Like they come with a lot of panels like this. They make you feel this kind of energy, but it's a superhero. It's based on a superhero society, so I'm not surprised, man. You know what I'm saying? They took inspiration from a lot of good stories, and the artwork is phenomenal.
Off and then the cops being safely landed, back where they were before. Now at that moment, you do get a little bit of an explanation on how the powers work. Nathan is constantly figuring this out. It is one of the cool things. There is really no like one-shot comic where it's like, and now a Rocky montage, and they play Hearts on Fire while he learns how his powers work. Instead, it's him just kind of getting these small moments here and there. And in this instance, one of the things that Marshall says is, okay, so when the train was coming toward us, you just thought about lifting the train, and then you lifted the train and everything else around it. So try that, right? I mean, like, one thing, you just got to breathe or you're going to bust a gut. And number two, just like think about removing the helmet and see what happens. He thinks about it and the helmet goes away. So now he's back to his regular self. So of course that tells us that
this is a good homie, because most niggas that see some kind of like phenomenon like that, some kind of extraterrestrial event like that, they not gonna just stand right next to their homie like everything is cool, like nothing just happened. This nigga just grabbed the orb out of the air and transformed into this. You know what I'm saying? Like, why his mans was a witness, and then the nigga defended him in front of the police. Can we get friends like this? Everybody needs a friend like this nigga. He's supporting his homie while he's in debt like fucking $38,000. You know what I'm saying? This nigga is arguing with cops for him. And when he turned into this alien, like, Blue Beetle scarab type thing in his world, this nigga didn't even flinch. My nigga said, that's what I'm here for. W Fran. W motherfucking Fran, bruh.
That the suit responds to his mental commands. Now there is also a moment here where Nathan lashes out at Marshall over the idea that he doesn't need anybody's help, that he doesn't really need anybody around him. It isn't one of these things where like the suit is influencing him in a negative way or anything like that. At least that does not initially seem to be the case. Instead, it's just kind of the weight of the world on his shoulders, right? Because he says, the worst part about coming home isn't really the debt, and it's not feeling like I tried and failed, because that would imply that I actually did something. The worst.
Look at the transition of emotions here. This is real. Niggas go from having an intense stare off, this nigga's having a meltdown in front of his homie, to just You know what I'm saying? Like just feeling down on his luck, bro. He going through it right now.
Part about all of this experience is that I had
It'd be like the little details to me, like the micro expressions. Like this is the shit that I pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? The fluctuation in the eyebrows, how a frown becomes even more, you know what I mean, exaggerated and intense. You see this like cheek crease right here to emphasize the face expression, the facial expression, like evolving even more into like a more sad and depressed state.
a chance
Great
to
detail.
do something meaningful, and I wasted it. Now, of course, he's talking about his time as a writer, and what's interesting is that this new opportunity kind of presents him a second wind. But in the moment, he says that agent that I was telling you about, which he was talking to Marshall about, an agent that was interested in hearing his book and that he was just waiting for Nathan to finish it. He's like, he's not waiting for my book. I mean, he was open to looking at it like 4 years ago, and I still don't even have the first chapter done. Maybe I wasn't ready, or I was too afraid to find out that I wasn't good enough at the one thing that I've wanted to do my entire life. I don't really know. All that really matters is that when the opportunity was there, I didn't have it. I've screwed up so many things, you have no idea. But now I have this, and whatever it is, I know it's important. I can fly and I can lift trains, and it feels amazing. The stakes just, I still don't even have the first chapter done. Maybe I wasn't ready, or I was too afraid to find out that I wasn't good enough at the one thing that I've wanted to do my entire life.
That's what holds so many people back, bro. Focusing on being afraid of accomplishing their goal. Focusing on the outcome before the journey. You know what I'm saying? You gotta fall in love with the journey. You gotta wake up every day, be diligent, have faith, fail, achieve, fail, achieve, learn, fail, achieve, learn, fail, achieve, learn, fail, achieve, learn. That's how you build up your XP points, my nigga. This is really a video game. I don't care what level any of us are at. We know how this shit works. If you want to become successful in something, what does everyone say? Consistency. You know what I mean? That consistency can put you in places that you wouldn't have been if you weren't consistent. That consistency can bring energy around you that you didn't have before being consistent. You know what I'm saying? It's going to attract opportunities, people, and environments to you. But you got to focus on the journey. You can't focus on the outcome. But I feel like we've all kind of had this kind of emotion, you know what I mean? Like just overthinking shit, focusing on what could happen versus what is happening. And time passes us by sometimes, and by the time we look up, we like, fuck, the opportunity is gone. Shout out this dude right here though, man. He's showing like who the writer is doing some great shit right now, bro. We barely halfway through the video.
I don't really know. All that really matters is that when the opportunity was there, I didn't have it. I've screwed up so many things, you have no idea. But now I have this, and whatever it is, I know it's important. I can fly and I can lift trains, and it feels amazing. The stakes just got a lot higher. And I cannot screw this up too. And that's really the thing that weighs on him, right? Like he feels like a complete and total failure. And it's the other side of superheroing that you never really hear about, right? That whenever you see these stories about the origins of superheroes, it's, you know, Peter Parker, who's just some high school kid and suddenly bitten by a radioactive spider. And then he makes the mistake of letting a criminal get away. And then Uncle Ben dies. And he understands that with great power must come great responsibility. The words of Uncle Ben finally harken home, and he learns his lesson. But you don't really see very many instances where you have a person who has no real confidence, where you have a person who feels like a complete and total loser who's suddenly given these incredible powers.
Nigga, that's low-key Deku though, right? My Hero Academia did that. They tapped into that, feeling down on yourself, feeling ostracized because he didn't have his powers. But he had the heart though. My nigga had the heart. But due to him feeling inadequate, the confidence definitely dropped at times. But for him to have the heart, he put himself in position to be a great fucking hero. And we already know what happened with that. I already talked about this. Putting yourself in the opportunity through being consistent, having heart, having faith, will bring out that desired result. My nigga ended up being one of the greatest superheroes in his society. We can't be mad at that. But yeah, we definitely seen that before. But in American comics, no doubt, this is cool to see. You don't always see this.
When that happens, 9 times out of 10, it's a villain origin, not a superhero origin. So it's one of the coolest things that you get with this. And I love the human element of it, especially when Marshall comes in and he's like, look, man, like, here's the thing. The fact that you're worried about the power that you have and what you could do with it shows that you're responsible enough to use it intelligently. So you're not going to screw this up because I'm not going to let you. And that's where he says, and who knows, right? Maybe this thing.
W. Fran, bro. My nigga said, you're not going to screw this up because I'm not going to let you. We need friends like that. Y'all be watching y'all friends crash the fuck out. Come on, 2025. How many times am I going to see niggas just let their friends do dumb shit? Shout out to all the good friends, my nigga. Shout out to all the W friends out there really looking out for their peoples, helping put their people in position, keeping them from being crash outs, and just being supportive, my nigga. Giving a good word every now and then. Checking in on your homie. You know what I'm saying? Being there to hold a nigga up every now and then. Cause shit get tough. You gotta respect a nigga like that, man. To be like, bro, you not gonna fuck this up because I'm right there with you.
Thing will help with the writing too. Writers are supposed to focus on what makes them unique, right? Well, as of tonight, I'd say you're pretty one of a kind. But
he changing colors and all type of shit. I love this. I love this series. We getting the red and black. We getting the blue and black. They not missing. And these sparks, bro, like this lightning, the detail here. This shit is crispy, bro. Yeah, bro. I like this. I gotta tap in. Because I like the digital art direction that this shit has right here. The detailing isn't flat. It's very bold and expressive and exciting. Everything that needs the correct lighting is lit correctly. The colors aren't dull. Like I said, I love this red, bro, especially after seeing the same costume but in blue and black. Fire.
he's not, because there is a red version of Radiant Black, which I guess would be Radiant Red, that just knocked over a bank.
Oh, so this ain't even him. Well, whoever this nigga is, yo, your costume tough too, brother. And this, I guess this is the villain, though. We see the money in the back. This nigga, he definitely just caused some havoc. So, yeah, here's the antagonist, guys. We getting into it.
And so at that point, you kind of get a little bit of a fast track here, right? For example, Nathan sits down and talks to his dad, and while his dad kind of pokes and prods at the idea that, like, Nathan has no real source of income, he doesn't really ask a whole lot of questions, but he kind of lays the ground rules in saying, hey, if you're going to stay here, you can be here as long as you need to be, but you need to get to work. You need to find some kind of a job and contribute something to the family. Another thing that happens here is that you end up having a couple of cops that show up to the house of Nathan, specifically Mills and Peters. Now, they're not really here to like arrest him. They're not here to interrogate him or anything along those lines. Instead, what they do is they tell him, look, based on what you've done, you have a very real opportunity to help your community in a really significant way, doing things that very few people ever actually have a chance.
This is rare, bro. In most superhero series we see, they don't ever support the hero. They like, oh, hang that vigilante. Get him. Sick the dogs on him. They don't fuck with people that try to take power away from these niggas here in these suits. But it's dope to see in this story that they actually are coming to his house, not harassing him. Like, just basically saying, bro, you got a great gift. This is a great opportunity to really step up for your community. But I low-key feel like they only saying that because the nigga in the black and red just popped up and caused havoc for their ass. So they like, we ain't got nothing for him. You the only person we know that can handle that. This out of our league. Yeah. Yeah. You can fall for it, bro, if you want to. Go get active. But I'm just saying, don't miss the play, though. Understand what's happening here. Look at this nigga with his hands on his hips like they really standing on business. Like they really had something important to go up there for. Fucking these guys, dude.
chance to do. Not only that, they also inform him of, we're just going to call them Radiant Red. I don't know if that's their actual name. Technically, they're just called Red, but I like the idea of Radiant Red. I think it just sounds cool. But they inform Nathan of that, and they kind of ask the question, like, are you two working together? Now, he has no clue of who Radiant Red is, that they even exist out there, or that they're actually doing anything. But it does hit him on to the idea that someone out there has powers that are seemingly identical to his, which he doesn't really know the ins and outs, but questions can be answered, right? Finding common ground. So of course, he and Marshall come up with the genius idea of going to find this person. And there's only one real way that he knows how to do this. Drive to Chicago, be an Uber driver, and ask people about the bank robbery. It's probably...
This nigga, what? What kind of fad shit is this? Who takes up a Uber driver gig and is like just driving around picking people up saying, hey, yo, y'all been seeing these bank robberies? Who's doing it? Hey, I know you chilling back there. I know you got somewhere to be, but you know the nigga robbing these banks? I'm just trying to figure out. I don't need nothing. I don't plan on doing anything about it. I'm just curious. I'm new in town. I want to know who's robbing these banks. I'm new in town. I want to know who's robbing these banks. Like, bro, you look goofy as shit. You asking wild questions. You got a nigga in your back seat about to throw up. I'd be pissed off, boy. You throw up in my car, y'all. We pulling over and you cleaning it up. I promise you.
The most ad hoc detective run that I think I've ever seen. But it actually turns out to be pretty effective, because where most people have no idea what he's talking about, or maybe there's just some kind of basic understanding, like somebody showed them a video or something like that, there's one guy who's just kind of like, yeah. He says that whole thing was crazy, and I'm pretty sure I saw the guy too. First, it was just some red streaks.
Damn, a motherfucker really just... Well, I guess this is like civilian to civilian, but like I don't see where this would go typically with you asking. How many people do you have to ask for a nigga to really be like, oh yeah, I know him. I know that bank robber. I seen him. I saw his face. I was right there. This nigga then picked up 100 or more people and asked the same question. That's dedication. This is a true hero right here, man. He already getting started. He getting started, man. Doing the hard grunt work, the hard detective work. I love it.
Like I thought I was seeing things. But then they came back, and it was all near this junkyard. And apparently, the dude just knocked over another MK branch. And like Nathan asked, did you tell the cops? And the guy's like, I mean, look, man, like I haven't really been a saint, and the police are not exactly my phone a friend, right? Guys like me try to avoid the cops. So Nathan's given a location of the junkyard.
Bro, I be seeing panels like this with this level of detail and color style and shit, like Solo Leveling. This is fire, my nigga. This should be like the standard. This should be the standard right now in comics. Like, do any art style you want, but when it comes to coloring, make this shit pop like that. This will bring everybody in. This needs to be promoted on every platform y'all can to bring niggas more into American comics, bro. Because I'm just being real, y'all letting the whole audience get snatched away by manga. Damn near. I mean, and obviously it's still a lot of people that support American comics too, but it's niggas that are moving very biased towards any kind of source material, any kind of comic and IP that's not US based. It's really weird. Like, niggas think if they don't read something that's like from Japan or like any European country, it's not worth checking out. Like, you got niggas who get to a point like that when they read in comics where they just feel like, oh man, I graduated from reading American comics. Like, how the fuck you graduate from reading American comics, nigga? There's so many grounded stories in reality. There's so many like slice of life type stories with real drama and shit going on. Like it's artists and writers giving all type of flavors out here, and niggas just aren't tapped in because they're brainwashed by manga and anime and whatever else. And shout out to manga and anime, because I'm a true fan myself, but that's like the weirdest thing I've ever seen in life. I never even knew niggas acted like this until I got on the internet and seen like bro, y'all reading comics? Y'all need to get on this manga. I'm not reading that shit no more. And then you got the niggas who feel like they read so much manga to where it's childish now, and they can only read Berserk and fucking Vinland Saga, and what's the other one? Vagabond. They feel like they can only watch Vinland Saga, Vagabond, or Berserk. And I mean read, not watch. But you get what I'm saying. That doesn't make you elite, bro. And if you're not reading those, then you like, oh yeah, I'm on a comic wave now. But if it's not those three, yeah, don't even ask me about anything.
And when he shows up there, of course, he transforms into Radiant Black and immediately finds Radiant Red and just kind of starts asking questions, right? Like, is robbing banks the smartest thing to do with all of your flashy new powers? I mean, I found you. How long before the cops do? And instead of really answering any of these questions verbally, Radiant Red answers with their fists and literally just punches Radiant Black, right? Punches Nathan as hard as they possibly can and sends this dude flying. And so you do kind of get a momentary fight between the two. But it's quite clear here that like Radiant Red understands how to use their powers far more prodigiously than Nathan does. And in fact, they overcome Nathan quite readily. He gets crushed. And then of course that leads to Radiant Red just basically walking away. Now of course, Nathan recovers pretty quickly, only to find out that Red stole his car and is now like beelining with his...
Nigga, what you steal a car for and you got superpowers? That's like Spider-Man jumping in a Honda. Like, nigga, you can swing from buildings. The fuck I'm getting in a Honda for?
Car as fast as they possibly can. Now when Nathan catches up to them, they take the car and drive it off of a bridge and then jump out of the car while it's happening. So then Nathan manages to use his power.
My nigga, he's an Uber driver. He didn't give a fuck about your livelihood. That's how my nigga trying to pay his bills. He don't know he $38,000 in debt. Not that he would give a fuck. This dude's an asshole. He just beat your ass, took your car, and then it wasn't enough that he took it. He said, "You're not getting this back. Let me drive it off the road." Pure asshole intentions. You gotta beat him up when you find him, bro. He definitely signed up for a 30-second ass whooping bare minimum. You gotta tag his ass when you find him, bro.
Powers and grab the money bags. And then of course this leads to Radiant Red essentially getting away, and then Nathan goes to save his car, and you know, for the most part the day seems to be saved, right? He's got a few $100,000 to his name, his car's been saved, and then he does what's probably one of the most boneheaded things that a person could do.
Did this nigga get the money back to him? Did he get the money back? Cause I ain't gonna lie, it might be smart to give the money back. Right now he's being looked at as the hero. He don't want to fuck that up.
He turns the money in. Now, let me tell you guys something, right? I joke about being a villain all the time, but if I were a superhero and $200,000 to $300,000 in cash just was there after I defeated a villain, I mean, look, man, that's the fee for me doing my job. You know what I mean? Like, it's the city paying me for my service.
That's some real shit, though. Like, since I put my life on the line and y'all want me to do this, I'm gonna have to be compensated. Y'all gonna have to put in like some kind of money in my pocket, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Bro is $38,000 in debt on his credit cards, fam. He could have at least took that amount out of there. Fuck, nigga. You just got your ass beat and your car stolen. You $38,000 in debt, and then you give all the money back? You just sacrificed your life for the city. You doing detective work. Have them compensate you, please. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of impressed with this fade right here on this black man. But the hairline is fucking me up. Like, why they ain't add this there? It was too much to add that part. You had to make all this recede. Y'all gave this nigga a carve out. Why did y'all do that? Why did y'all carve this out? Like, y'all faded it all nice just to add a big ass C curve right there for no reason. Nigga said, y'all like that? Y'all like, god damn, nigga, that is aggressive. No, I want the artist that drew this. I want you to go look at 100 pictures of black men right now. You could go on Pinterest. Look at all the hairlines. Just type in black men. Don't try to be funny and type in a specific haircut, nigga. And I want you to tell me you be saying black man with this. This the best y'all could have did right here with this.
You know what I mean? Like, I gotta put food on the table somehow, right? That money ain't going back.
This is good art though. I'm only critiquing this hairline. This is great art. So I don't want y'all to get that shit confused.
But of course, with Nathan, him being a true superhero, he gives the money back. He does what you or I would not do. And don't tell me you would, right? I know you wouldn't. But again, like once you kind of get back to
tell
this
me
whole
what
thing,
I'm
all
gonna do.
joking aside, right? It does kind of give him this sort of renewed vigor, right? This renewed purpose, because now he has a kind of reason for getting up in the morning, right? The biggest issue that he struggled with here was that he was just kind of a failed writer, right? That he saw himself as a failure. He had no real motivation, no desire to really do anything outside of try to get a story done. So the one thing he had to do every day was the one thing that wasn't working out. So every day felt like a failure. But now that he can operate as a superhero, he has kind of a greater sense of purpose here. The other part of that is that he has these kind of visions in his head where he sees what almost looks like a kind of digital figure out there, and they say things like radiant, right? It is a really cool concept. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit, but he ends up going to visit Marshall, right? Where Marshall's just, you know, kind of working in a video store, I'm pretty sure, and like, that's it. And so what Marshall's been doing, as a tried and true friend would do, is he's helping Nathan figure out a superhero name, which is amazing because he comes up with this like the Vanguard Darkness, which of course is already taken. Initially he wanted to go with like Mighty Morphin, but of course that would lead to a massive lawsuit. So at that point, it's just kind of like, okay, like we have to figure something out. Not only this, he starts referring to Nathan as a superhero. Now Nathan loves the idea of doing good things, but being considered a superhero seems so strange to him because in this story, they do make references to like Marvel and DC, right? Batman, characters like that. So for someone like Nathan, a superhero,
I like shit like that.
Hero is a comic book character. It's Spider-Man. It's Captain America. It's not just a dude who found a black hole, decided to touch it, and suddenly got powers. But for the most part, that's true, right? Because where he starts talking to Marshall about what his name should be, he's like, I don't know, maybe like something to do with Radiant, right? And Marshall's like, oh my God, that's perfect, right? He's like, hold on, let me sit down, right? Let me think about this for a second. And he's like, okay, Radiant Black.
I ain't gonna lie. This is a W friend. This nigga has stood by you while you been in debt, you know what I'm saying? Keeping you up in good spirits. He's argued down cops for you. He's trying to figure out a name for you. Radiant Black, that's hard as shit. Your friend you need your friend with you when you writing this shit, nigga. That's all you missing. You just missing an assistant. Look how supportive he is. That is a perfect assistant role. Ask your homeboy who doesn't want to work in this video shop anyway to go on that role with you, nigga. And y'all good. You know what I'm saying? Y'all take over the whole world. It could be like some, like, I don't know, like some, shit kind of reminds me of the relationship Virgil and old boy have in Static Shock. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be a cool duo. Let this nigga come up with all the ideas and shit, like all the flashy, gimmicky shit to get the attention, and you just execute, bro, and use your experiences to write your story, and you chilling.
Black. And at that point, Nathan's like, okay, I mean, it's no Batman, right? And Marshall's like, dude, Batman wasn't Batman. A name is just an empty vessel. It's nothing until you fill it with associations. And so at that point, Nathan's like, yeah, but like my powers are blue. And the response of Marshall is kind of funny here, right? He's like, I mean, look, it's not a blue hole, it's a black hole. Black is great, classic, super sexy, always. And so the response to Nathan, well, I mean, why wouldn't it be like Black Radiant? And Marshall's like, I mean, sure, if you're a 1970s Marvel character, but come on, man, like
Black
this
Radiant,
is so...
Black Radiant does not hit the same as Radiant Black. It's crazy. Just a simple switch like that changes the whole vibe.
Dope. He's like,
your homeboy knows execution. He knows hooks. You need him in the writing room with you, nigga.
Plus, I already registered the social media account. And Nathan's like, what?
He made this nigga a social media account. This is crazy. This W fucking friend. W friend, this nigga putting in motion for his homie. What
The
the
first
fuck?
tweet that Marshall sent out was like, hey, I'm the guy who gave back the money. And it has 1 like. Somebody out there saw that tweet and decided to like it, which I think is kind of hilarious.
That's fucking comedy. My nigga gave the money back and his homeboy tweeted about it. That's his first tweet and he got a like. 1 like, bro. They're hilarious with the detail.
Right? Because that's like the most Twitter thing ever. And so at that point, like Nathan kind of flips out over the idea of a social media account. But the response of Marshall is, I mean, look, dude, like, is social media a plague on society? Sure. But the fact is, it is a part of the fabric of our society. You have to embrace it. Plus, man, you could go viral and that's not going to do anything but like help your profile. So
fact.
Of course, Nathan basically storms out, right? He ends up.
Could you imagine Spider-Man, Iron Man, niggas like Thor having a social media account? These niggas having group chats and shit talking about all kind of Marvel activity. That'd be fire, bro.
Walking away. And so once he's back home and has a little bit of a nightmare and hallucinates a version of Radiant Black that's seemingly himself, but just much older and seemingly far more brutal, right? He literally tells him that he's not worth breathing, that he wakes up to a tweet. And the tweet is, and now we've got a
what
flat
in the
on
hell?
355.
Wouldn't the Peter Parker multi-universe ass shit just happen? This nigga just randomly had an encounter with his older self. Let me go back.
Once he's back home and has a little bit of a nightmare and hallucinates a version of Radiant Black that's seemingly himself, but just much older and seemingly far more brutal, right? He literally tells him that he's not worth.
So what I'm thinking is this could either really be a dream, or that radiant shit that keeps popping in front of like his vision is him tapping into like the avatar state or something, like it with his ancestors or like different versions of himself to really get him to embrace this journey, really double his experience points. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. I think this is dope, especially if they keep it and he gets to continue to interact with like maybe different versions of himself, or maybe just the same older version that can give him game on how to be a better Radiant Black.
Breathing, that he wakes up to a tweet. And the tweet is, and now we've got a flat on 355. We could really use Radiant Black right now. Hashtag LOL. I don't know why you would laugh at your own flat tire, but Radiant Black gets there and doesn't know how.
Sometimes you just gotta laugh at that kind of situation, man. A flat tire, that shit ain't making nobody happy. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just gotta, you just gotta laugh through the pain, bro. You know what I'm saying? Sitting there and crying over it ain't gonna help nobody either.
How to change a tire. Right? And so like once he kind of tries to figure it out, he just demonstrates the inability to do so. The family's kid basically calls him inept because it's like, what kind of superhero doesn't know how to change a flat tire? And it's like, what kind of kid doesn't know how to change a flat tire? Right? Like, I mean, if you're so smart, you have the whole of the internet at your disposal. How do you not know? And so when the family says like, we're supposed to be a tip off and obviously we're not going to make that, Nathan does the responsible thing. He picks up the car and flies it, which is awesome.
Fucking genius. You don't gotta, nigga, they don't gotta call a tow truck and you ain't have to switch the tire. You just gonna take them straight to where they need to go and it's good. And what they rolling in? This a BMW? Y'all tried to be slick with it. I don't see the symbol, but I know this is at least a BMW.
Because the whole family's just having the time of their life.
Where did the scarf come from though? I'm confused.
It looks absolutely amazing. And then he gets back home at 2 a.m. and then starts working on writing again. Here's a cool thing. The entire time that he's had this writing block, he never really knew what to write. But then it all starts coming to him. The story is based around a girl named Elizabeth, but all he starts to do is write his own story as the character of Elizabeth, which seemingly gives him exactly what he needs to make it all work. Because the reality is that up to the point when he became Radiant Black, if you were to do that, it would just be like, Elizabeth was a girl who was down on her luck, and she owed $38,000 in credit card debt, and she was a failed writer. And then she moved back home. The end. And like that would be it. It would be the most boring story ever.
Yeah, that shit would be
and everyone
depressing.
would hate it. But now that he's a superhero, the sci-fi element gets to be thrown in. He gets to tell his own story in real time with probably a few exaggerations so that people don't connect their identities. But at that point, you pick up with the hallucinations that he's having yet again. This time, it's like
Hold on. Let's see if it heads to where I said. This looks fire though. This looks really cool.
It's just gigantic, digital force that's kind of walking towards him to a degree. He doesn't really know what to make of it. It's speaking in a language that he cannot understand, but then it finally starts to speak in English, and it says, "Hello, Nathan. Welcome to existence." And so at that point, you snap back to reality, and you have...
Nigga, this series is lit. What the fuck was that? The astral plane? This nigga is interacting with all type of entities now, bro. His whole life has changed, but whatever world he just tapped into was fire. Did y'all see that? I don't know why that shit made me think of like Evangelion or something.
Nathan and Marshall, who were actually working on his abilities, right? His powers, on what it is that he's capable of. Because from Marshall's perspective, what it looks like is the suit just responds to his mental commands. So if everything responds to his mental commands, can he do anything? Or are there limits to the things that he can and cannot do? So it's like, let's just give it a shot and let's find out. Think about firing energy blasts. And like, he fires a little mini energy blast, right? I mean, it's adorable. It's cute for what it is, right? Enough to maybe knock the wind out of somebody. But at that point, Marshall's like, I mean, let's see what you can do, man. I mean, let's see what you're really capable of. And Nathan doesn't really know how to like channel, right, the full might of his energy. He doesn't know how to use it in an effective way. And so that's where Marshall's like, okay, so when it came to the train, you responded instinctively, right? That sure, you thought of it, but your emotions were also running exceedingly high. So, I mean, let's get your emotions really, really high, right? Let's just piss you off to no end, and let's just see what happens.
Bro's homie is out here just training with him, making sure he can be the best version of himself possible. He has not lied about what he said he was gonna do with his homie. I pray this nigga stays a true friend and doesn't like get corrupted or anything, because we don't really see this level of like loyalty and activeness from like the right hand man to really make another person succeed, especially this early on. You know what I'm saying? We don't see that too often. Normally we get to see the main character kind of go through his trials and tribulations. He has to keep his identity under wraps. He's going through stress for that. His homies can't know, his parents can't know, society can't know. He's just going through a bunch of shit most of the time. So getting to see this, you know what I'm saying, it's cool. Kai.
So he literally tells him, like, your prose sucks, right? The Oxford comma's overrated. Chandler wishes you'd never read him. And then he's just like, Justine would still be around if you knew how to conjugate. And at that point, Nathan freaks and like fires off this massive blast.
Shit. This hard than a motherfucker. His homie just set him off like, nah, I know how to get you there. Watch this. It's all about the mental, bro. I like that. I love when the mentality is what brings out the power, because that's real life. Wherever you can take yourself mentally, you can produce that physically.
That like blows the little action figures to pieces. And Marshall's just like, that was dope. He's like, that's amazing. Let's go get some beers and let's just go hang out for a little while. And so again, that's when you jump back to this kind of digital conversation that he was having. And he's told by this giant, kind of machine type thing where he says, digital brain, organic brain, integration, language centers sync, incomplete, in progress.
I haven't seen a panel this hard in a comic book, period. In like, I don't know, some years now, because this shit looks like something you would see after taking a handful of shrooms or something. Like this level of, like this, the color theory alone, nigga. All these colors complement each other so well and paint this beautiful aura an atmosphere of where he's at. It makes you feel like you're standing in the astral plane. Like this is some shit that you would have to leave your body to see. Look at this. Look at this cryptic code right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is hard, bro. I love the detail of this series.
Relationship, partnership, sync, incomplete, in progress. Basically, the powers that Nathan has are still syncing with him, meaning that they're not quite a whole entity yet. But there is a kind of caveat here, right, where it tells him communication is fundamental to any good relationship. Our connection is final, permanent. For the duration of your life, you are part of existence. But war is near. For the Radiant, he will kill you and your entire planet. To die is to lose everything. Will you do all that is required to save your species? Will you take his life? And so
Damn, that's a lot to throw on a nigga, ain't it? Fuck. They just threw all the depression on bro. Like, yeah, bro, if you fuck up, it's over for everybody and you times a billion. Just know that. Are you willing to take up the mantle?
And that's when you pick back up with Nathan and Marshall after basically running some errands. And they're met by Radiant Red, who's just like, hello, Nathan, what a nice hometown you have.
Damn.
Let's talk. And grabs him
Bro
and just like
pulled up on
throws
him.
him. Right now, of course, at that moment, he activates his powers, changes into Radiant Black.
Good move.
And then Marshall kind of talks a little bit of trash, and then like Radiant Red just like takes his phone.
Bro talking shit to this nigga. He looking back like, who the fuck is this? Who is you? He done pissed him off. You gotta love that though. Yeah, talk shit, throw him off his game. Right here is when old dude should have hit you across your jaw though. He's wasting too much time.
Destroys it, and it's just like, get out of here, or I will literally rip the skin off your body. And I will watch as like your muscles and your organs just spill out in front of the world.
What? People be like, yo, comics are for kids. This is fire though. Do y'all see this shit? Do y'all see niggas getting active? Do y'all see the costumes? Do y'all see the artwork? Do y'all see the panels? Do y'all see the intensity in these fights? The micro expressions in the faces? Like, nigga, this series is fire. This up there, low key. I would put this up there with like how Invincible makes me feel. There's not too many series that make me feel like that this early on and have this much potential.
Now, of course, Radiant shows up, ends up, hitting Radiant Red, knocking them out of the way, and it's just like, get inside, right? Like, find some place to chill. And so the fight that takes place between the two of them is pretty knockdown drag out, right? Where like Red literally says, like I was saying, such a nice hometown. I hope they have insurance. I know who you are, Nathan. I know where you live. Believe me when I tell you, I can get to you at any time.
What if this is Nathan? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how we already seen the older version of him? And the nigga got aggressive immediately and then kind of disappeared. It seemed like he was gonna put him on game, but it was in like an aggressive way. What if this is this nigga the whole time, but he's corrupted though? He has the experience. He knows exactly where this nigga lives. But then he acts surprised that this is his hometown. Like, oh, this is your hometown? I know exactly where you live. Like, nigga, make up your mind, bro. Make up your mind before you put out these lines. You know what I'm saying? They gotta make sense, villain. But anyway, yeah, I think that might be possibly an older version of him. But if it's not, shit, he's a villain and all the same. You know what I mean? He's going crazy right now. He popped up on this nigga and got active.
And I can get to them. If I ever see your face again, all of this, it'll be the least damage that I do to you. I will hurt you, Nathan, publicly, privately, personally. And at that point, his emotions running high.
Nigga, you a motherfucking psychopath, boy. You a motherfucking psychopath, ain't you? You a psychopath, ain't you? God damn. It wasn't enough just to say you was gonna hurt him? You gotta do all that? This nigga different.
Fires this massive blast of energy at Radiant Red, far more than he previously fired before, and it actually overwhelms them.
That's
right?
What the
but
fuck
again,
I'm talking about. Look,
he kind of
did you see how scared he looked? Did you see how scared he looked? Cause you put that fire on his ass. Don't be bullshitting with this nigga. You gotta put that intensity on him every time. Fuck that nigga.
Has this momentary glimpse where in having the conversation with that digital entity, he almost kind of thinks this is the enemy that he's supposed to be facing off against, the one that will lead to the destruction of him and his world, which kind of makes sense, right? I mean, it's the first, I don't know if you would really call them like a villain of Radiant that he's encountered before, but from his perspective, it is, right? Some measure of an arch nemesis, even if the whole roles aren't fully fleshed out yet. But the two of them end up firing their blast towards one another, and when they do, it destabilizes the building. And so instead of
Damn.
playing the villain role where Red just like takes off, right, just
That nigga head hurting right now. He like, why the fuck did I pull up here? I thought it was gonna be an easy win. What the fuck I pull up here? Sicker than cracked my helmet. I got a migraine now, nigga. These motherfuckers gonna try to tax me for this damage. Yeah.
flies away and leaves Radiant Black to deal with everything here. They actually try to hold the building up while the various occupants escape. But the
Oh, so you a villain. You only a villain sometimes. Like, why the fuck you want to hold it up now after you just crashed down the whole building? You just like making chaos? Fucking dork.
the entire building comes crashing down on Nathan. And when Marshall comes running in, trying to grab him, it actually turns out that Nathan is dead. This dude died.
What? Damn, nigga. GG? Like, could we get some closure? Y'all just gonna, like, fuck, nigga. I thought this suit was supposed to be, like, indestructible. You know what I'm saying? I thought this nigga ultra strength, ultra healing, ultra everything, bro, is crumbled up down there.
And so that's when you pick back up with that digital conversation where it says, to die is to lose everything. Will you do all that is required to save your species? Will you take his life? And Nathan, in this conversation, had kind of given this really sad, dejected look, almost as if to say no. And the response is, then you and your world will die. And so at that moment, when Marshall is literally leaning over Nathan, the black hole, the source of his power, leaves Nathan and merges with Marshall. And it says, your friend is gone, deceased. Our connection is final, permanent, for the duration of your life. You are part of existence. But war...
What? What the fuck just happened? What? Nigga, you gonna let us connect with the main character and then take the nigga away? What the fuck? Let's see where this go, bro. Let's see where this goes. I'm hurt right now, nigga. I'm hurting.
is near. For the Radiant, he will kill you and your entire planet. To die is to lose everything. Will you do all that is required to save your species? Will you take his life? The response of Marshall, unlike Nathan, yes, and he seizes that power and becomes the new Radiant Black. Now, here's the cool thing about this, right? In that moment, while Marshall is
What the hell, bro?
sitting here watching the paramedics work on his friend, he's just like, he's not dead, and immediately runs up and is like, there's no way he's dead. And he just starts like beating on his chest, right? And it's like, he's my best friend, and I swear if you do this, I will go to church, I will get it together. God, do something, save my friend's life. And then Nathan starts coughing, like, so Nathan's not actually dead, which was
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go, nigga. I just got goosebumps. I ain't gonna lie. This shit, I'm invested now. I'm a fan now, bro. I'm like, no way y'all gonna take him away from us like that. We didn't much my nigga got that lit for y'all to try to hold on. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't do this. Y'all can't act like this. What's good, Coconut, man? Shout out to my nigga Coconut. Shout out to my nigga, man. Shout out to bro on Kick, bro. The chat got a little weird when you left.
was kind of nuts. When I was reading this, I was like, did they really kill off what we thought was the main star in like the first 4 or 5 issues? What a twist.
That's what I'm saying. So now my nigga's what's he gonna be in the background? Like, he a background character now? Because the power went to him. What the fuck is going on, bruh?
It's absolutely bonkers. But again, because of the fact that he is breathing, it doesn't mean that everything's okay, because he's told by the paramedics, yes, he has a shallow pulse, but we got here 6 minutes after the building fell, and his heart was already stopped. For 6 minutes, his brain was not receiving oxygen, so we have no idea what condition he is in.
Wow.
And at that moment, Marshall is incensed, because while Nathan is technically alive, it's entirely possible he spends the rest of his life in a vegetative state. And from Marshall's perspective, it's all the fault of Radiant Red. And so initially, Marshall just kind of like flies out
Get to whooping ass.
into the middle of nowhere and just kind of screams out into the ether, I don't want this power, right? I do not want it. Take it back. Give it back to Nathan. But at the end of the day, it doesn't happen. And so that's where seemingly Marshall is a lot more receptive to this, digital individual than Nathan was. Because again, the conversation kicks back in and the name Radiant is repeated yet again. And Marshall asks,
It's something about this, bro, that I love. It's something about this artistic detail right here that's like really making this panel what it's supposed to be. From the colors to the like the different hues to bring the shading out.
the question,
Fire.
why do you keep saying Radiant? And the response, our sync is progressing faster than Nathan Burnett. Good, you are ready. And he's like, you're absolutely right that I'm ready. And that's where he's told, existence, all that you...
Nigga, these colors are crazy. They putting y'all on watch. Y'all gotta step y'all fucking game up. Y'all want to compete with this series right here, nigga, with the story and the art. They putting foot to neck, nigga, belt to ass. They whooping ass right now in this story.
are connected to time, space, matter itself. But war is near. For the Radiant, he will kill you and your entire planet. So again, kind of a repeat statement.
You said, am I what? But this is about a dude that comes across this magical orb in the air. He takes it. The shit basically takes over his body. He gets his power. He's a struggling artist, by the way, like $38,000 in debt. And as he continues to progress on, shit starts to make sense for him. He gets a little bit better. And then recently, this nigga just got smoked. Lost the power. They gave it to his homeboy. And now this is where we are. You know what I mean? I just gave you the little speed, run around real quick. But yeah, that's basically it.
We will prepare. It is my duty. He will try to shatter our connection, but our connection is final, permanent. For the duration of your life, you are part of existence. And so that's where Marshall's like, so he has to kill me in order to sever the connection. And the response, and your entire species. And
What? Damn.
question of Marshall, what's his name? What's the name of this person?
It's a whole lot of absolutes in this story, bro. Like it's no leniency, it's no half stepping. Like motherfuckers really have real life consequences. Bro died, came back to life, lost his power. Now it's his homeboy's turn, and we don't know where this is gonna go. But I guarantee you, he's gonna be whooping ass. He don't seem like he's gonna be playing with nobody. By the way, this panel is fucking incredible.
That's hunting me down, and he doesn't give an answer. And so that's where Marshall says, okay, so like what now? As cool as I'm sure all this cosmic stuff is, I gotta be honest, I really don't care about any of that right now. What I care about is finding the person that put my best friend in a coma. You help me find them, you use whatever cosmic connections you have across time and space and matter itself to get me a location, and then I'll do whatever it is that you want. Do we have a deal? And seemingly they do, because you pick up with Red, where they're just kind of freaking out, they're pissed off about what's going on, right? The whole situation got out of control and they got somebody killed. And then Marshall shows up, and Marshall immediately attacks them. Now, initially, Red thinks it's Nathan, but Marshall's like, no, he's in a coma, and it's because of you.
Damn, it seemed like dude was crashing out just now. Like maybe the suit made him do some shit he wasn't trying to. Nigga, you don't got full control over your power, but you're this strong? I thought this nigga was experienced.
And Marshall immediately attacks, and the level of brutality here is intense. I wouldn't go as far as to say that Marshall's like actively killing this person, but he is fighting with a vengeance here, because he's fighting out of anger over his friend, right? The potential death of his friend. And literally he says, I'm not going to do you like you did Nathan. I want you to see this coming, and just lays into them. But that's where you start to see what it is that these folks are capable of, because in this instance, when Marshall initially gets the upper hand, what he ends up realizing here is that with Red, they can actually absorb matter in order to create an armor form, different things like that. So seemingly all these different variants have different sets of powers, right? And those different sets of powers would likely require them to work in unison in order to overcome any particular threat that may exist out there.
Right, y'all niggas should be working together. Y'all, I'm sure it's a bigger threat out there. Y'all just fucking up. Y'all got power hungry, not Radiant Black, but whoever this nigga is, Red, like, bro, you doing crash out missions. You need to be saving the world. Why niggas want to be crash outs when they get power?
But in this particular instance, Red actually starts to siphon off the power of Radiant Black. Now, of course, this leads to Marshall, hitting them and sending them crashing down into the water. He spawns a cape for himself, which is kind of cool, right?
That's
He's
hard.
like, I just
That's
put
hard.
on
That's
my
hard.
cape.
That's hard.
Dope.
That's hard. That's hard. This series fire, nigga. This series fire. Y'all want fire fights? Y'all want dope artistic displays? Y'all want dope dialogue? Y'all want action? Y'all need to come fuck with Radiant Black. I gotta pick up the physical copies for this.
And this giant.
What? We coming out with the Gundam suits now? The Iron Man suits? With this shit hard than a motherfucker.
Like armor form, and then absolutely starts hammering onto Marshall, like putting the fear of God in this guy. But again, in that moment, because he's kind of seeing what seemed to happen with Nathan in his own head kind of happening to him, he immediately blasts Red and just says, you dropped a building on my best friend. You took the one good thing in my life. He was a good person, way better than me, which sucks for you because this is all I have and I'm not stopping.
This is a woman? What the fuck did you want to scare him for? What did he do? What did he do wrong? You were destroying shit. What did you want to scare him for?
Until you're dead. And the response of Red, who's actually a woman, says, I just wanted to scare him and I didn't mean to hurt him. But in the middle of this fight, a pink glow appears and they just say, hey, sorry, really seriously, don't ever show up anywhere uninvited. But you're in legit danger. It's not just...
Who are these niggas? This is fire. They flying Power Rangers, bro. This is hard.
A pink version of Radiant. It's also a yellow one. And Marshall's literally like, how many more of these things are there? And they're like, we don't know, to be honest with you. But this girl's just like, you sound like 1,000 years old. But look, it doesn't really matter. He's here. He's going to kill us. I've kept one step ahead, barely. We saw you on the news. This is bigger than whatever you two are fighting about. And that's where the guy says he can counteract everything
hell, I'm buying this shit. I don't care, bro.
Can do. And the response of Marshall, you don't know what I can do. And this guy says, then you better hope you've leveled up fast, son, because I hit him with everything I have across the spectrum and he barely shrugged. But in the midst of that, they're all attacked. And seemingly the main foe of this whole story shows up and says, it hurts, I know, a consequence of playing with fire. You have something.
That's a fire ass line. It hurts, I know. A consequence for playing with fire. That's a hard ass entrance, nigga. Who is this?
That is not yours.
I'm seeing purple.
You will all lose your lives. Unfortunate, but necessary.
Who is
You
this?
have no choice but one. Will your planet die as...
Who is this? You just about to pop up and talk this fire shit? With the dope cloak? No one can see his face. This nigga looks like a glitch in the Matrix. He done glitched out the whole universe they in and just brought ass whoopings.
Well, and I gotta say, man, this enemy looks dope. With that being said, guys, we're gonna bring this video...
Super fire. Boy, that story fire, man. If you enjoyed this shit, go ahead and pick up Radiant Black. Nigga, what? Shout out Radiant Black. That was amazing, bro. That was amazing. We need more of that, bro. W's in the motherfucking chat. W's in the motherfucking chat, bro. I appreciate that story right there. And shout out to Comics Explained, too. Big W's. Man, I'm about to go ahead, hit this restroom real quick. I'll be right back, gang. I'll be right back. All right, your boy is back, man. What's good? What's good? We about to go ahead and find something else to tap in with real quick. Let's see. Let's go ahead and check out Doom, you know? Doom is definitely in the hot seat right now. A lot of people want to know what's going on with Doom.
This may be the last ad you ever see.
So tired of these ads.
Because with the free ad block extension from Capital One Shopping,
Dr. Doom is the greatest villain ever created because this guy has done everything. He's displayed these acts of pettiness that are so incredible that it shows you how low this man is willing to stoop. But at the same time, he's been a multiversal conqueror. I mean, to give you a display of some of this pettiness that Dr. Doom has been engaged in, there was one point when he hired Luke Cage to track down Doombots that had gone rogue in New York City, and he was going to pay Luke Cage $200 to do it. Now, Luke Cage agrees, he finds the robots, and then Doom just ghosts him, stiffing him out of all this money. And this is the...
Nah. You can't hold that black man like that. Doom. I'm seeing all the way through that. You thought you could do that because he's a black man. Fuck you, Doom. See, I'll talk shit to Doom. I don't care. These other niggas want to dick ride him. You ain't gonna sit here and play in Luke Cage's face. I don't give a fuck how much more fame you got than him, nigga. You're not bigger than a program.
Same Doom that's one of the richest men in the world. So Luke Cage gets a fantastic car, travels to Latveria, gives Dr. Doom the business, and if you can ever believe it or not, actually convinces Doom to hand the money over. It's a...
Motherfucking right. Motherfucking right. I see you, black man.
Crazy situation. Another incredible act of pettiness that's also hilarious is right after the death of Johnny Storm. So in order to stop Annihilus, Johnny Storm had locked off a portal and stayed on the other side in the negative zone to essentially sacrifice himself in order to try to beat Annihilus's forces. Shortly after this, and with everybody believing that Johnny Storm's dead, Reed asked Dr. Doom to join the Fantastic Four without telling the Thing.
I wouldn't trust this nigga. Reed? Like, nigga, read the fucking room. Gonna bring MF Doom into the fold like he the homie or something. The Thing has a valid reason for being pissed off if that's what Followrs is.
So when Ben walks in and he sees Doom, he immediately becomes aggressive. Like, he's pissed off because he thinks Doom is, doing some villainous stuff. And Dr. Doom humbles this guy with one of the most vicious verbal attacks I've ever seen. He asks Ben if it's true that while Johnny Storm was valiantly sacrificing his life against the forces of Annihilus, if it was true that Ben Grimm, surrounded by crying children, simply just watched. How very brave. I mean, you have
That's
to be
crazy.
an incredibly petty dick.
I ain't gonna lie. Doom is top five most devious motherfuckers in Marvel. He might just be. I mean, how do you sit there in this nigga's face in they house and talk shit to him like this about they homie too? Just grimy, bro. He don't give a fuck, man. I guess we could appreciate Dr. Doom not giving a fuck, because you're going to get some funny panels off that anyway. Like, he's going to talk, like, Hall of Fame shit to you. You just got to be prepared.
To take this opportunity to twist the knife into somebody who was still mourning the death of their best friend. But in addition to the...
Look at him. Ben look goofy as hell right now. Like, I can't believe this motherfucker. I can't believe him. He want to spaz out on him, and Reed is like, God damn, shut up, Victor. You asshole. Shut up. That's tough.
These admittedly hilarious acts of pettiness, Doom has also showcased a capacity for incredibly nefarious stuff. For example, he was offered a deal by demons that would grant him incredible...
Hold on. Now I'm just going to skip past that. He was what? Doom, you be messing with them demons, nigga? You be messing with them demons? Nah, I didn't fuck with you anyway. But you gotta go take that back where you from, back to your little island, my nigga. Your little whatever the fuck you be going to. Take that over there, buddy.
Mystical power in exchange for something irreplaceable. So Doom willingly offers up the life of Valeria, a woman that he'd been deeply in love with for most of his life. Doom even goes to Valeria under the guise of renouncing science if she would agree to come back to him. And once she does agree, the demonic spell activates, killing her and flaying off her flesh. Doom.
Wow! What? What did she do to you? Why? Why'd she need that? He sacrificed her. He tempted her to come back. Her flesh burned off. Like, goddamn, my nigga. How you gonna say he was in love and he sacrificed her to demons? I don't understand. Like, fuck, what just happened?
Incorporates it into his armor. And later in that same story arc, Dr. Doom imprisons Franklin Richards in hell just to torture his rival Reed Richards. And I should mention here, this is not adult Franklin Richards. This is when Franklin was a kid. Dr. Doom sent a kid to hell just to mess with his rival, which is...
What the hell? I gotta do some more research on Doom. I didn't know this nigga was devious like this. He's damn near worse than the Joker. Like he's up there. He's comparable, it seems like. How you drop a baby off in hell? Like, what did the baby do? And I know this is just to get to Reed, but what did the baby do? You had to do that much, nigga? You couldn't have took her to, like, I don't know, anywhere but hell, my nigga. Like, he said, fuck Earth, let's go here. Like, a baby is gonna be terrified no matter where they are at. Why'd you think to take her there? That's fucked up. I don't support none of this. I support none of this. But I just think, like, the first thing that a motherfucking thing ain't to do this. Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Is one of the most evil things that I've ever heard of a person doing. But sending Franklin to hell wasn't the only way that he tortured the Fantastic Four. There was also kind of a funny way that he did it. He actually stole their powers and then gave them back in a mismatched way, like making Susan Storm burn like the Human Torch, or making Johnny Storm stretch like Mr. Fantastic and then placing him in a torture device. And on top of all of that, he possesses the mind of Valeria Richards, who was named after the woman that he had killed earlier in the story, just to make things suck a little bit more for the Fantastic Four. And so Dr. Doom is capable of doing some incredibly diabolical things. But believe it or not, what makes him so compelling is that he's actually the hero in his own mind. Because we can kind of see where he's coming from to an extent. That in his mind, he's the opposite. That Dr. Doom truly believes that he is uniquely qualified to save humanity from itself. That Dr. Doom envisions a world...
That's cool and all, but nigga, why'd you take the baby to hell? That has nothing to do with this. How the fuck you look at yourself as a hero and you dropping babies off in hell? That don't add up. You petty bitch. I don't rock with Doom. Doom is crazy.
Where everyone lives in a near paradise, free from most of the problems that plague mankind today. But of course, in order for people to live in such a condition, they have to live under his rule. But as strange as it may sound, Doom's motivations to rule the world are somewhat understandable when you consider his tragic origin story. Because before Dr. Doom became Dr. Doom, he was simply just Victor Von Doom, born in Latveria to a Romani healer named Warner Von Doom and his wife Cynthia. Now Cynthia, who was a sorceress with an affinity for dark magic, basically sought to end the persecution of her people at the hands of the Baron of Latveria. So to achieve this, Cynthia made a deal with the demon Mephisto, exchanging her soul for power.
Yeah, hell no. You fucked that right there.
To deal with the Baron. Now, as deals with demons tend to go, this deal backfired when Mephisto gave her the power that she agreed to.
Now I know why he acts like this. This nigga comes from a lineage of crash outs. I understand. These motherfuckers, they be really messing with them demons. I just thought it was that one occurrence. You know what I'm saying? But no. Doom sold his soul. And then the nigga's making FedEx drop-offs in hell. This is insane to me. Like, yeah, nah, he's not new to this. He's not new to this at all. He be in that spirit world doing shit he's not supposed to be doing.
But not the ability to control that power, which resulted in the loss of innocent lives, specifically the lives of a lot of the children within the Romani village, which happened when Cynthia attacked the Baron and his men. And so Cynthia fled into the woods and then died from the wounds she sustained during her battle, leaving her young son Victor without any kind of a mother.
Damn.
And that's not the end of the tragedy. Right? Because his father would take Victor and then flee into the wilderness out of fear that he was going to be killed after failing to heal the Baron's sick wife. And so while Doom and his dad were both found by a friend, almost frozen to death, his father would eventually die, leaving Victor by himself. And so the loss of both parents and the anger that he felt towards those responsible actually fueled Victor's quest to acquire as much power, both magically and politically, as he possibly could. And so not only would Victor devote himself to the study of magic like his mother had, he would also become a prolific student of science, which actually led him to Empire State University in the United States. And it was here that Doom was introduced to Reed Richards, which would ignite a rivalry between these two classmates that would actually carry well past college and remain a vital part of both of their journeys.
That's pretty
because
cool.
During Doom's time in college, where he was quickly establishing himself as one of the best scientific minds in the world, this would only serve to add to the tragic origin of Doom. Because while he was still a student, Doom was working on a machine that would allow him to speak with the dead, which he intended to use to rescue his mother's soul from Mephisto. Reed Richards noticed that there were flaws in Doom's design, but due to his arrogance and disdain for Reed, Doom ignored these warnings. And so when the machine was turned on, it literally blew up in Doom's face, causing permanent disfigurement. Now, Doom was so ashamed of the way that he looked after the accident that he donned his signature mask. Now, Doom was also expelled from the university after conducting this dangerous, unauthorized experiment, which only made his hatred for Richards even more intense because he blamed Richards for him being expelled, convincing himself that Reed had done something to his machine. But this accident was a pivotal moment in Doom's character development, and honestly, it symbolized a change from Victor Von Doom to the arrogant and incredibly brilliant student into Dr. Doom, the villain who would become a mainstay of the Marvel Universe. Because after leaving the United States...
Yo, I want to read more like OG comics from this era. I really, it's like really a different switch up, bro, from like reading manga, because it's not this dialogue heavy at all. The panels are not like this. Niggas be complaining about One Piece and shit like Hunter x Hunter. Don't read comics then. And that goes against the argument I had earlier, where I feel like people should be leaning into American comics, because why not support home base where there's still great stories and great art? Great art. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you gonna come over here, you gotta have the capacity to read or want to. Yeah, you can look at the pages if you want and skim through if that's like your prerogative. But I'm just giving y'all a heads up, man. Like, come with the mentality that you want to read, learn, and get context. It's going to be a lot of these stories like this, especially from this era, that come with that same direction.
Doom continues to study both science and magic, becoming a master of both. And his next ambition was to return to Latveria and overthrow the Baron's government, setting himself up as a monarch in his place. Now, Doom's prowess as a sorcerer and scientist allows him to...
Yo, real shit. Y'all think it's hot in this motherfucker, or he got AC units like placed in there in certain areas? Because I feel like if this nigga lived anywhere where some heat, he's getting cooked. He has to be in New York. You know what I'm saying? He can't leave there at all. And he has to be in specific areas of New York or in an AC fueled layer, because, nigga, you are a walking oven in this shit. Like, this is different. This is different than what Tony Stark does when he hops in the Iron Man suit and then he jumps out that bitch. This nigga is in this iron suit all day. But he makes this shit look so fire, though. But I know he's hot in that shit, so it don't matter.
Achieve this goal, and he installs himself as the ruler of Latveria. But Doom's regime doesn't really look the way you would expect a government run by a power-hungry, iron-fisted supervillain dictator to look like. And the reason why I say that is because under Doom's rule, Latveria and its people prosper. Despite the fact that Doom does not allow dissent from his people, they live in a society that's free of hunger, poverty, and crime. Doom actually builds Latveria into one of the most technologically advanced countries in the world, with all the trappings of a town that has been untouched by time. And so yeah, Dr. Doom is very much a great character. I mean, sure, he rules his people as a tyrant, believing that it's his destiny to do so, and that he's the only one capable of bringing this level of peace and prosperity to his people. But on the other hand, he's kind of right. If we're being honest, the fact that people cannot question his rule is somewhat irrelevant, because who would dissent from living in a near-perfect society? And even though he rules strictly, he does not govern cruelly, which just reinforces what a complex character he is. In fact, there's a fantastic moment when Dr. Doom is talking to Namor the Submariner in Jonathan Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers. And to paraphrase here, he asks the question, do you really believe that my walls are beyond being torn down? That if the people of Latveria truly wanted to destroy me, that they would not run me out of this country? And he says, but I keep them protected, I keep them fed. And so before they pray to whatever god they pray to when they go to sleep at night, they give thanks to me. Because Doom understands they choose to stay there. They choose.
You know what kind of arrogance you gotta have to say before they pray to whatever god, they pray to me? Yo, this nigga's crazy. And then he just got the wine glass up like real smooth, real suave, like yeah, nigga, I just dropped the bomb on y'all so smooth. I could never fuck with me. Even if I didn't have this iron suit on, y'all lucky. Y'all lucky. This is who I am right now. And then if you call me back in the day, this shit would have been 10 times worse. Nah, but Doom is hilarious, bro. Doom just be saying shit that's like, damn, that nigga really said that.
Use him as their leader, because for the most part, they love the life they have. And so to get a real sense of what motivates Doom, we can actually look at Doom War, which was a story written by Jonathan Mayberry in 2010. Now, in that story, Dr. Doom had incited a nationalist uprising in the kingdom of Wakanda in order to create a lot of noise over here, so nobody would understand what was going on over there. And what was going on over there is Dr. Doom was sneaking into the country with the intention of stealing their vibranium, which he believed...
Just like a motherfucking colonizer. Just like a... Be trying to get this nigga little props here and there with like little shit just as a villain, you know what I'm saying? It's just like little cool moments nigga had. But then you go and you try to steal from the people? You bitch ass nigga! Bitch ass dude! All my homies hate Doom.
Would grant him unrivaled power, and in fact, it actually did. Now, Doom has to unlock a series of locks and then finally stand in judgment before Bast, the Panther god of Wakanda, in order to prove himself worthy of taking the vibranium. And so Bast looks into Doom's soul and sees that although Doom's methods may be brutal, even leading to millions of deaths, his motivation is to save billions, to save humanity.
Get the fuck out of here, nigga. He just invaded your people's country. Invaded the motherland, the continent, and stole. And you talking about worthy? Who wrote this shit, man?
From itself. Because Doom's looked at all the possible futures, and the only one where mankind is no longer plagued by crime, hunger, and sickness is the one where Doom rules the world as an absolute godlike monarch. And in fact, we actually get to see what the world under Doom's control would look like in the 1987 Marvel graphic novel Emperor Doom by David Michelinie. In that story, Doom imprisons and harnesses the power of the Purple Man, Zebediah Killgrave, who has the ability to control the minds of others using pheromones. And so Doom uses this power on the entire global population. And just like he always said he could do, he wipes out all the bad stuff. There's no crime, no wars, no pollution, but there's also no free will, because everyone is just Doom's mind slave. And so ultimately we just see that Doom does...
What the fuck is this? Alright, nigga, I almost got mad, 'cause I was like, yo, this nigga got motherfuckers picking cotton? Boy, I almost turned up in this bitch, nigga. I'm like, yo, what's Marvel doing, bruh? Niggas, there's no way niggas is out here picking cotton cause of Doom, goofy ass. Boy. and then the spirits in the other world just give Doom free range to do shit like this though. I don't know what this man. They said this is in Ethiopia. In Ethiopia, deserts bloom thanks to a redistribution of land and influx of technology from countries that were once that kingdom's sworn enemies. So, it looks like everything is everything over there in Ethiopia. But boy, nigga, when I thought it was some black women in the fields picking cotton, boy, this story would have never got picked up by me if that was the case, nigga. Like, I still don't know if I'm picking up physical copies of this shit just off of the strength of what happened in Wakanda and Doom in general. How you gonna let him get away with that shit? How you gonna give him a pass, nigga?
Really want a good future for humanity, but he doesn't believe that's possible without him being the only one in charge. And he's willing to do some pretty morally reprehensible stuff in order to make that happen. But because of the tension between Doom as a villain and Doom as a more severely flawed anti-hero, we've actually seen multiple stories published by Marvel that feature Doom as one of the primary protagonists, suggesting that even Marvel cannot definitively place Doom firmly into the villain camp.
He's a villain. That nigga dropped a baby in hell. How is he not a villain? How the fuck you take a baby innocent and place him in hell and then be like, yo, arguably this nigga's not a villain? What? What, nigga? What? It's something about them we need to find out. Because if that's not a villain, what is y'all definition of a good guy?
For example, take the 1989 graphic novel Doctor Strange Triumph and Torment by Roger Stern and Mike Mignola. This story gives us an intimate glimpse into Doom's humanity as he teams up with Doctor Strange to enter into Mephisto's realm and save his mother's soul. Now the setup here is that both Doctor Doom and Doctor Strange had been summoned by the Vishanti, a group of 3 magical deities in the Marvel Universe, to participate in a kind of competition of Earth's greatest magic users for the title of Sorcerer Supreme. Now Doctor Strange, of course, ultimately wins the title, but Doom puts on an impressive enough
Shout out
showing
Doctor Strange.
that the Vishanti tell Doctor Strange that he has to grant Doom a favor, and so Strange expects some kind of wish for more power, and is actually surprised to find that Doom's wish is for Strange's assistance in rescuing his mother's soul. Now we also find out that Doom has been attempting to do this on his own for years, but each time he confronts Mephisto, it ends in a stalemate or with Doom's defeat. And so as they work their way through Mephisto's realm, Doom and Strange work together surprisingly well, but the time comes when they have to confront Mephisto himself, and if you're familiar with Mephisto at all, you know that he's nearly omnipotent within his own realm, and as powerful as Doom is, he's just simply not able to match Mephisto and free his mom's soul, until Mephisto offers him a deal, that if Doom is willing to deliver Doctor Strange's soul to Mephisto, his mother's soul can be freed. Of course, Doom accepts this deal, and then Mephisto traps Doctor Strange in a power-dampening crystal before freeing Doom's mother's soul and then restoring her.
Niggas, how is this not a villain? How is this not a villain? This nigga just sold Dr. Doom's soul, and he put a baby in hell, all in the same video, and niggas gonna be like, arguably, Dr. Doom, he's not evil. These niggas stupid.
Body. And so Doom has finally obtained what he's wanted more than anything in the world, the freedom of his mother and an end to her torture at the hands of Mephisto. But his joy almost immediately evaporates, because once his mother learns that Doom had bargained her soul with the soul of another, she disowns him and then turns to stone. The cool thing
Could you imagine the shock, the despair this nigga's going through? Bro, he spent his whole life trying to get his mom out of hell, and then just for him to sacrifice another individual's life for her own, she disowned his goofy ass. I know he was hurting. She disowned his ass, and then like she was so through with him, she turned her ass to stone. Like, I'm so done with you, nigga. Don't talk to me. Don't visit me. Nothing. Don't come back here. I don't want to kick it with you. I'm turning to stone. That's crazy. That's crazy.
The thing about this is that Strange breaks free of Mephisto's trap using a device that Doom had hidden for him, which revealed that the betrayal of Strange.
This nigga did that sacrifice just for Doctor Strange to be able to get out of that shit. So nigga, your mama disowned you because you sacrificed somebody's soul, and the soul was able to escape. So you lost connection with your mama, and you got a beef with Doctor Strange now. You suck, nigga. You suck, bro.
Strange was a deception that Mephisto fell for. That Strange then frees Doom's mother's soul from her statue, and it ascends to heaven because she'd redeemed herself in her rejection of Doom's bargain. Now, of course, Mephisto sends the two sorcerers back to Earth, and the guy's pissed off to no end. But we end up learning that Doom knew that his mother would never accept his bargain, and that every bit of what happened was planned by Doom so his mother's soul could go to heaven, even at the cost of
get the fuck out of here, bro.
Being disowned by the person he cared for the most. So this story shows us that Doom, despite
he knew that was gonna happen. He just knew that was gonna happen. Nigga, his mom sold her soul to Mephisto. Why would all of a sudden her morals change when this nigga sacrificed another soul for her own? Like, due to her doing that back then, a bunch of people died. And then this nigga does the same thing for her. No deaths, though, apparently. And she disowns him, turns herself to stone. Whole time, this nigga like, I already knew my mom was gonna do that. Nigga, you ain't seen your mom in probably 30-something years, nigga. You was a child when she did that, and your mom was moving devious. She turns herself to stone, disowns you. And then Doctor Strange escapes, basically pardons her and allows her to go to heaven. You have no connection with your mom now, my nigga. but hey, bro, at least she's set free. But this was crazy. That was insane. I feel like if I was a real Doom fan, reading his stories would irritate me, dude, because that was interesting.
Desiring world domination can be
I wasn't
selfless
expecting
and
that.
sacrificial, adding a great deal of depth to his character. Another landmark story is 2005's Books of Doom by Ed Brubaker, because this served as a retelling of Doom's origin story with a lot more detail. But what really makes it interesting is that this is Doom's own retelling of his origin. And so what that means is that this is the version of his origin that Doom wants the listener to know. And given how proud and unwilling to admit mistakes he is, we have to accept that Doom is somewhat of an unreliable narrator. But this series gives us some real insight into Doom's psyche, and we actually end up seeing how Doom's hubris has distorted his account of his own past. For example, he blames Reed Richards for the accident that scarred his face, when everything else that we've seen indicates that Reed actually tried to warn Doom that his calculations were off, with Doom ignoring that warning. But in this version, Doom cannot admit a mistake, because that would undermine his idea of himself as the smartest person in the world. So he convinced himself that he was just simply not at fault. We also get to see just how much of the trauma of losing his mother had affected the rest of Doom's life. Not only is saving her soul the greatest driving force behind everything he does, but his obsession has alienated him from society by making it impossible to form real emotional bonds with anyone. Doom is capable of romantic feelings, as he was clearly in love with Valeria, but he was willing to sacrifice any sort of meaningful relationship with her in the name of chasing his obsession with his mother. Furthermore, Doom begins a relationship with a fellow student in college, but looks into her eyes and realizes she doesn't compare to Valeria or his mother, so he just starts choking her, nearly killing her.
This is y'all GOAT? This is y'all GOAT, my nigga? This the same person niggas are debating is technically not evil? He willingly got with this woman because she didn't match up to his ex or his mom, You fucking psychopath. He just starts choking her out. I'm telling y'all, this nigga, he's up there with the Joker, bro. These are just certain panels. We not even seeing the full scope of Doom on the screen right now. Trust me, this nigga's done worse.
Before he stops himself. So yeah, I mean, Doom is a tragic character that has gone through a lot of trauma, but he's also a bit of a psychopath. But another interesting revelation from Books of Doom is that the iconic armor Doom fashions for himself is actually an attempt to further cut himself off from the rest of the world, as well as stop the dreams that he was having about his mother, because he believes that once he dons the armor, he'll stop feeling pain, fear, basically any real emotion. And so the death of his mother had an incredible effect on him. It literally led him to isolate himself mentally, emotionally, and physically from basically the whole of humanity. But if I had to pick one story that really showed Dr. Doom realizing everything he ever dreamed of course it would have to be Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars 2015. One, because of just how truly
I love this style right here. This is fire.
naked it shows Doom on a mental and emotional level. And number two, because it's a fantastic story and everybody needs to read it. But there's a reason that Doom is getting introduced into the MCU right now, and it's because the MCU's headed towards Avengers Secret Wars, and that's certainly going to be based on this event. But for those of you guys unfamiliar with it, the whole Marvel multiverse was basically ending due to a series of incursions brought about by a race of cosmic beings known as the Beyonders, and even Doctor Doom and Molecule Man's actions. But basically, universes within the multiverse were crashing into one another. And
There's so many different factions in Marvel, so many different groups, so many different individual heroes and villains. They can never run out of material, bro. Ever. Like, I'm so excited for this next phase of the MCU.
And these incursions led to the destruction of one or both universes.
Before we continue on, what is something that you hope they implement in the MCU? Whether it's a storyline, a character, a specific event in a storyline, let me know in the comments, bro.
And so, harnessing the reality warping power of Molecule Man, another classic Fantastic Four villain, Doctor Doom, along with Doctor Strange, launches an attack at the Beyonders and then winds up killing them and taking the power for himself by way of Molecule Man, but also eradicating pretty much what was left of the multiverse. And so Doctor Doom, with this newfound power, is able to take fragments of the universes that have not been destroyed, cobble them to...
Doctor Doom really got that villain throne pose down, don't he? Like, this nigga just always look like he's just brooding in negative energy, but he just chilling on the throne though. Can't nobody knock that confidence off him though. He just right there minding his own business. Like, y'all niggas can't even fuck with me, let alone be in the same room. That's the kind of energy Doom give off every time.
Together in a kind of makeshift universe known as Battleworld, and starts calling himself God Emperor Doom, where he rules Battleworld with an iron fist, cementing in his own mind the fact that survival of the human race is only possible with Doom firmly in control. But this victory is incredibly short-lived, because he's riddled by self-doubt and knows that his subjects only worship him out of fear. They don't worship him because of love. He also can't really help but compare himself to Reed Richards, wondering how his rule would measure up to one with Reed in charge. Now, Reed happens to be one of a handful of people who remember what reality was like before Battleworld, because he survived the collapse of the multiverse and basically a multiversal raft, and that during this final showdown, Doom is forced to admit that Reed would have actually been a better ruler than him. So you have Doom, who's literally saved reality and become a god, broken by the realization that his arch rival had not only bested him, but is also a superior leader. Now, hopefully, of course, we get some kind of similar character-defining moment in the Secret Wars film. But what does all this mean for Doctor Doom in the MCU? Well, one of the major criticisms of the MCU as a whole is a kind of lack of compelling villain.
Doctor Doom and Thanos? Doctor Doom and Thanos, nigga? Oh, this about to be nasty. What the fuck? Secret Wars get like that, and I'm missing out. Okay.
Outside of Loki and Thanos, really, most of the villains featured just kind of seem to be one-dimensional, and they failed to exhibit any sort of real character development. With Doom, that cannot be the case. Dr. Doom is very similar to the most successful MCU villains like Eric Killmonger, Loki.
Yo, Doom gets a sorcerer cloak? I gotta watch Secret Wars, bro. Is Secret Wars really about to be that shit? This about to be the shit to revive that feeling in me about the MCU? I'm trying to keep my composure. Do I gotta read the Secret Wars? Y'all let me know in the comments, bruh. Is the Secret Wars like that? Let me know.
Loki and Thanos, and that they all believe that they're the good guys. Killmonger believed that he had a legitimate claim to the Wakandan throne and that he would lead the Wakandan people to prosperity. Loki believed that he would be a better ruler of Asgard than Odin or Thor, and Thanos believed that in order for the universe to survive, he had to restore balance to it through a snap that...
Let me know y'all true thoughts on Thanos. I really think Thanos is a crash dummy simp, but I want to know what y'all feel. I want to know what y'all feel about this guy. This nigga's lame to me. But all the Thanos fans, please like tell me your favorite comic story or your favorite moment of Thanos that made you a fan. Because I don't get it. This nigga's terrible. Terrible to look at. Terrible to see what he does. Like, nigga ain't got no swagger. He barely looks cool. Like, I mean, like, the Marvel barely puts out shitty designs, but the nigga don't even look that cool. Like, he's just a strong crash dummy, for real.
Erased half of all sentient life. Doctor Doom will believe that he's right. He'll believe that he is saving mankind through his quest for power, and that the Fantastic Four, the Avengers, and anybody else that tries to stop him are the real villains. Of course, not to be too cynical here, but the possibility exists that Marvel might actually squander this opportunity. I mean, it would be fair to say that the MCU has been on a kind of cold streak recently, with very few of their...
Bro, I promise you, if the MCU fucks up Secret Wars, I don't know when the next time I'm gonna watch a movie. Like, y'all done already delayed shit, y'all done low-key canceled shit. Like, if the Secret Wars comes out and y'all fumble this bag, we gotta have a serious conversation. If y'all fumble this bag, we really have to start having these conversations. Like, is Marvel washed? That's what we want to know. But I don't think so. I think this is gonna be a fire-ass movie. So, with that being said, let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all are excited for when it comes to Secret Wars. That's coming out soon. You know what I'm saying? Let me know your predictions, who you hope to see in the film, and where you think this is going to take the MCU after this.
Films being able to get fans genuinely excited since Avengers Endgame. I mean, I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Hopefully we end up getting an appropriately complex version of Doom on screen, and then he becomes one of the MCU's most iconic villains and doesn't really...
This nigga is riding on a T-Rex iron suit? What the fuck is this? This nigga got a T-Rex iron suit Gundam hybrid morphin time. I don't even know what this is. This is some Power Rangers, Gundam, Jurassic Park, Marvel shit right here. This is all fire to me. I'm excited. I'm hype. I need to check out Secret Wars. This shit is different. This nigga got on a sorcerer's cloak. Doom is already very capable within his own right. And it seems like he's just doing whatever he wants right here. Tell me this panel is not fire. Tell me this panel alone wouldn't make you read this. I gotta tap in. I've been tapped out. I gotta tap back in, nigga. Do y'all see this? Do y'all understand what we looking at?
Really get treated like another villain that exists so the good guys can have someone to defeat. Because if done correctly, when Doctor Doom finally arrives in the MCU, he won't just be another villain. He'll instead challenge the notions of what it means to be a hero. Because as you guys have seen over the course of this video, Doctor Doom consistently reminds us that the line between heroism and villainy is sometimes simply just a matter of perspective. But
nigga, what kind of perspective do you need to be like, yo, bro, you shouldn't take that child and drop her off in hell? I had to keep repeating this in the video. There is no thin line, nigga. That baby did nothing. You did that to spite another human. The father. You took a baby, dropped it off in hell, and just to see the father agonize. Like, no, nigga, I don't fuck with you, and you are evil. You are a villain. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Dr. Doom is definitely a villain. He's evil. There is no middle line. Yeah, he has stories where he helps people out sometimes and shit, but you're still an evil nigga, bro. You corrupt in the heart. But man, if y'all enjoyed this video on Dr. Doom, go ahead and and drop a like, leave a comment. Let me know how you feel about this shit, man. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one, bro. And it's been good being back, bro. It's been good creating. It's been good streaming. I'm actually live right now. Shout out to everybody that tapped in. I appreciate y'all. But with that being said, man, I'm just gonna keep grinding. I'm gonna keep bringing this content for y'all, and we're gonna continue to grow. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button, and your boy's gonna catch y'all in the next one.